Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Nice to see everyone. Again, I'm Audrey from Pilates Plus of Schaumburg. If you are new to this 4-week session, we're happy to have you. If you're still joining from the other 4 weeks, glad to see you back. Again, we are just gonna do a beginning level Pilates mat class. So this is good for everyone, and I will always give modifications so everyone can do every single move that we're gonna be doing through this 50-minute session. So everyone get themselves ready, sit on your mat or on your carpet, wherever you're at in your house, get comfortable. We're gonna start in our little crisscross applesauce position before we get ahead and lay down on our mats. But I am just going to run through the principles of Pilates so everyone can trickle in and join in. So I am going to run through the principles of Pilates. There's quite a few, but it's good to keep them in mind, and throughout the session I'll remind us of them. But our first one is awareness, followed by breath centering. So awareness and breathing go hand in hand. I always want us to be breathing throughout this entire session. Some Pilates instructors want you to exhale at the hardest point of the exercise. Since this is a beginning level class, I am just concerned with making sure that you're breathing. It doesn't have to be on the hardest if you can't remember, as long as you're taking big inhales through your nose and exhales through your mouth the whole time and being aware of that, that is all that I'm looking for. And then we have our alignment, stability, and mobility, which are all in one. So being aligned, we always want to have a nice long spine. We don't want to be slouching to one side or standing up and you sink into one hip. That throws off your alignment. So we're going to stack those shoulders right in line with those hips, knees right in line with the hips, ankles right underneath it, all supporting us. And then we have our stability and mobility, which is a big portion of Pilates. Throughout our exercises, one portion of our body will be stable, and then the other portion of our body will be mobile. So let's say our hips up is stable. We really want to fire up from that core to hold that stability, while our hips down, our legs are mobile, doing the exercise. So that way we can fire up from your core, because Pilates is all about your core. It starts from your center and moves out to your limbs, to your little fingertips and your little toes. And then we have our opposition. So like I was saying, we're going to start from one top and go to the opposite end. Reaching an opposition is going to make that core have to fire up even more. The more energy you shoot out in opposite directions, the more your core has to fire up. So say it's winter or you're in the shower and it's slippery anywhere, the first thing that's going to grab on to save you from falling is your core. So Pilates is great in helping you find your balance. Then we have our control, which is our balance. So like I just referenced, the first thing that's going to hold on to make sure that you don't fall onto the ground is your core. So we want that core to be strong. Then we have our focus and concentration. And Pilates is as much of a physical workout as a mental workout that it is. So even when we're doing some sort of coordination exercise, our brain has to work just as much as our body to get that perfect timing and the flow. So the last two are precision and flow, which are really going to be key points in our session this morning. This next 4 weeks, the theme of our class is going to be flow, specifically focusing on our external rotation. So I'll be saying Pilates stance, and all that means is that your heels are together, so pretend my little hands are my feet. Your heels are together and your toes are open, fist distance width apart. What this does is externally rotates from the inner thighs. So your inner thighs are going to be burning and you're going to squeeze down into your glutes and your hamstrings. Having that external rotation is going to give you a nice stretch as well as create and fire up those muscles that sometimes you forget you have. So before we lay down, I'm going to have us stretch out our neck. Since a lot of this will be laying down, I want us to be as stretched out as possible before we get started. So sitting in your little crisscross applesauce position, your backs of your hands can be resting on your knees, palms up to the sky. And let's just take a big inhale, grow that spine nice and long, and exhale. Big inhale to scoop and lower. You want to drive that belly button up into your spine, fire up from this core, and release. Let's do 3 more. Roll those shoulders back and down. Big inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more. Big inhale and exhale to release. Last one. Big inhale and exhale. Now we're going to stretch out this neck. We want to be very gentle when we do it. We are going to take the right ear to the right shoulder, dropping it down, getting this nice long stretch on the left side, bringing it back to center to freeze and breathe, and then release. Drop to the left, release and melt. Maybe one side's a little tighter than the other, and bring it back to center. And just flow through this at your own pace. Big deep breaths. If you do feel like one side is tighter than the other, you can sink and melt into that. And breathe on each exhale when we're stretching. Feel yourself melt a little bit deeper than you did the last time. That way we can really take advantage of the stretch. 3 more sets here. Again, still hold your core tight here because even when we're stretching, we still want to get that core fired up. Big deep breaths. Let's do 1 more set. Last side. Bring it up to center. Now we're going to take that eyesight straight up to the sky and then down into your lap. Look at your little belly button. And reach that eyesight up. And exhale, melt it down. Again, still keeping that ribcage laced up together. You want to keep that core tight so we can build those core muscles. Keep breathing and melting through this. Stretching out that neck, being very gentle. 3 more sets. Breathe through this. 2 more. Last set. Last side. Bring it back to center. Last stretch for our neck here before we lay down. You're going to take that eyesight and look to the side of the room, but you almost want to look up and over your shoulder so you really get a nice stretch here. Bring it back to center and look up and over that opposite shoulder. Bring it back to center. And just rotate through that neck. Take the eyesight with you as far as you can go so you can melt and release into this. And again, keep breathing and melting. Lacing up that rib cage. 3 more. Roll those shoulders back and down. Nice long spines. 2 more sets. Really reach up over that shoulder with your eyesight. Last set. And last side. Bring your eyesight back to your center. We're going to take these long legs out on your mat and we are going to lay ourselves down. Roll yourself all the way down in nice lay down long position, nice long spine. We're going to keep our knees bent here just so we can melt and stretch even more. So we're going to blow through everything. I am going to give us breaks, but I want each little one to connect onto the opposite. So the arms are long and strong, and we're just going to breathe here. You're going to take a really big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. We're just going to do 5 breath cycles. So big inhale and an exhale. Breathe in through your nose, grow that spine nice and long, and exhale. Let's do 3 more here. Big inhale and exhale. 2 more. Big inhale, grow that spine nice and long. And exhale, keep that ribcage laced together. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, keep that ribcage laced. Make sure these legs are glued together. We're gonna do our knee waves. So you're gonna drop your knees to the left side of the room, fire up from your obliques to bring those knees up and over to the opposite sides. Even though this is a stretch, we wanna work through those obliques. Take those knees up and over. And really melt, get that nice rotation through your spine. And take everything at your own pace. Listen to your body. And keep breathing and melting through this. Get to stretch out that core, stretch out that spine. Big, deep breaths. We are just going to do 3 more sets. Really melt into this as much as you can. 2 more sets. Keep breathing here. Last set. And last side. Bring those knees up into the center. I'm going to have us cross our right leg over the left, and our legs are going to fall to the left side. In opposition, our arms are going to reach to the right. Take the eyesight with your fingertips so you get that full rotation. Following that eyesight to those fingertips is going to help you melt and release into this. So big, deep breaths and melts. With each exhale, again, melt a little bit deeper. One last big inhale. And exhale, bring it back up to the center. Uncross those legs and cross over the left, over the right. Drop those legs to the right side and reach those arms to the left, taking your eyesight with those fingertips. With that full rotation in that spine. Get a little bit of a glute stretch here. Big deep breaths to melt. Let's take one last big inhale and exhale. Bring it back up to center. Uncross those legs. Keep them in your little bent position. I call this your pyramid position. And we are going to do our imprints. So all that means is naturally, sometimes you'll get this, like, I call it a mouse house. So my opposite hand is reaching through my back because my spine isn't imprinted onto the mat. We are going to do our little spine imprints here. So take a big inhale. You feel the rib cage open up, the spine lifts off the mat. And on your exhale, glue every vertebrae of your spine down onto the mat so there's no mouse house. I can't reach through onto the other side. And then open to get that big counter stretch, release, open that rib cage, and big exhale. Now you see my spine imprint down onto the mat. Keep those fingertips reaching long and strong, and just exhale and release. Imprint that spine. Hold it here so you know what it feels like to have that rib cage laced up and that spine being in your nice neutral position. And inhale, open up that rib cage. And release. Big inhale, open to stretch, open that rib cage, and release. Let's do 3 more here. Open up that rib cage, and exhale, lay every vertebrae down into the mat. 2 more, big inhale, and exhale. Fire from that core. Last one, big inhale and exhale. Keep it in this imprinted position. Each vertebrae of your mat, of your spine is touching the mat. Your rib cage is laced together. Those arms are long and strong, and all you're going to do is take your eyesight up to your belly button, reach the fingertips a little bit longer, drive that belly button down into your spine, and exhale and melt. We're just going to do 5 of these to really fire up from that core. Reach those fingertips, take the eyesight to your belly button, drive that belly button down into your spine, and release. Keep big inhale, and exhale. Each time you take that eyesight to your belly button, those fingertips reach longer. and melt it down. One last one here, big inhale, eyes set at your belly button. And release down. And even here, still keep that imprint, lace up that rib cage. We are gonna extend your right leg nice and long, and naturally, your toes are, your backs of your feet are straight up to the sky. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the class, we're gonna work on our external rotation throughout the session. So what you're gonna do is start from that inner thigh and wrap and squeeze down into your glute to turn it out. So you wanna try and touch your pinky toe to the mat and bring it back to center. Get that external rotation, open it up, touch that pinky toe to the mat and bring it back. So you can see my little toe turn and tap and bring it back. You feel that inner thigh wrap and squeeze down into that glute. Still hold that core tight and bring it back. Lace that rib cage. Breathe through this. This one is really gonna start to fire up from those inner thighs. So we'll feel that nice burn. Keep that toe pointed so you're working through those quads. We're just gonna do 3 more. Tap that little pinky toe and bring it back. And remember, keep that spine imprinted down onto your mat, no little mouse house. Last little tap. And bring it back to center and bend that right knee in again to your little pyramid position to extend that left leg nice and long. Again, naturally the backs of your feet are straight up to the sky, but we're gonna work on that external rotation. Open from that inner thigh, externally rotate, tap that little pinky toe and bring it back. Externally rotate and bring it in. And you see when I'm externally rotating, it's just happening from my hip here and my whole body isn't moving. That's what our stability and mobility come into play. We're gonna be mobile just through the left leg, and the rest of our body's gonna hold still, keep that powerhouse, keep that core fired up. Big deep breaths here. Feel that inner thigh wrap, squeeze down into those glutes and those hamstrings. Keep that toe pointed to work through that quad. We've got 3 more. 2 and 1. Keep the left leg long and extend the right leg long to meet it. Now both of the backs of our feet are up to the sky. Our legs are glued together. We're gonna turn out to our Pilates stance like I was mentioning earlier. So the heels are gonna stay glued together and all you're gonna do is open up the toes like a fist distance width apart. Your pinky toes won't tap onto the mat here unless you have a really nice full rotation. And bring it back to center. Feel the wrap and the squeeze from those inner thighs down into your glutes. Separate those toes a fist distance width apart and bring it back. And again, just rotate right from these hips and bring it back in. Keep that core fired up. No little mouse house in your spine. Keep it imprinted to fire up from that core. Big deep breaths here. Keep those heels glued together. That's really gonna work these inner thighs. Breathe through this just for 3 more. 2 more. Point those toes, work through those quads. Last one, bring it back to your neutral position. And I'm just gonna have us flex those feet and point and flex and point, just to stretch out through these feet, because the more those toes are pointed and we're turning out to our external rotation, sometimes we start to get little cramps in our toes if we haven't had enough water today. So I just want to make sure that we're stretching it out. And if you ever start to get a little cramp in your feet, just flex and point them to get that counter stretch. Let's just do 3 more. 2. Last one, and bend those knees back into your little pyramid position. Have us hug in our right knee into your chest. Let's just hold this here. Let's get a big deep breath and stretch here. And let's extend this right toe straight up to the sky. And there's modifications for everything. So if you have to be bent a little bit, that's totally fine. Because sometimes we don't realize how tight our hamstrings are. And again, a modification, you can keep this knee bent, but if you want to challenge yourself, you can send that left leg nice and long. if you're that flexible and can maintain the stability in your core. So for our start position here, we're gonna externally rotate this right leg so that heel's gonna come kind of towards you and it's gonna disappear. That heel's gonna come towards you and disappear. So you're starting from that inner thigh, wrapping and squeezing down into your glutes, and come back. And rotate, and relax. Feel that inner thigh start to fire up. You might get a little bit of shaky legs here. 3 more. 2. And hold this external rotation. If you want to make it harder for your core here, your eyesight can always be at your belly button. But if your core isn't ready for that, always feel free to let that head rest down. We are going to hold in this external rotation so you see your heel. We're going to lower this leg just 2 inches to take a big inhale and exhale. Lower it down 2 inches, big inhale and exhale. Lower it down 2 inches, big inhale and exhale. Drive the belly button down into your spine. Lower, big inhale and exhale. Now we'll start to come up. Hold it 2 inches, big inhale and exhale. Feel that quad burn. Big inhale and exhale. Lift, inhale and exhale. Lift, inhale and exhale. Lift. And now let's lower and lift this leg for 10, 9. Drive the belly button down into your spine. Feel like you're going through wet cement, so you're really working that quad here. Arms long and strong, and breathe through this. 3, 2, and 1. Again, hug this right knee into your chest. Let your head rest back down onto the mat. If your eyesight was at your belly button, let's just take a big inhale and exhale. Big inhale and exhale. We're going to keep this right knee bent and take it across our chest to the left side of the room. Well, again, our hands reach opposite direction to the right. Eyesight follows those fingertips for that full rotation, that spine. So we're flowing through this, but I want to make sure that we're getting enough time to stretch and breathe after each one. So big inhales and exhales here. Last one, big inhale and exhale to release. Bring it back to center. Hug your left leg into your chest. We want to stretch out this hamstring a little bit before we get started and do the same sequence over again. And remember, if you want to be modified, your knee can be bent. If you want to challenge yourself, your left or your right leg can be long, and your left toe is going to reach straight up to the sky. Arms long and strong. Eyesight at your belly button if you wish, and you're going to rotate out, firing up from the inner thigh down into your glute, and come back to your neutral. Rotate out, see that heel, and hide it. Open and rotate, and bring it back. Big deep breaths here. You're stable in everything else, but you're rotating right from this hip socket. Big exhales here. Remember, keep breathing. 3, 2, hold it in your external rotation, lower it down 2 inches, big inhale, and exhale, lower it down again, big inhale, and exhale, lower it down, big inhale, and exhale, lower it down, big inhale, and exhale, and reverse, bring it up, drive that belly button down into your spine, lift, big inhale, and exhale, lift, inhale, and exhale, lift, inhale, and exhale, lower and lift for your 10. Work through that quad, feeling like you're going through wet cement. Keep that belly button down into your spine to keep that rib cage laced. Just 3, 2, 1, and hug this knee into your chest. Rest that head down. Big inhales and exhales, giving this leg a little bit of a rest here. Big inhales and exhales. Now we're going to take this left leg across our body to the right side of the room and reach those hands to the left side of the room. Get that full rotation in your spine. Stretch out this core, get a nice long stretch down by your glute, and keep breathing here. Big inhales and exhales. Last one, big inhale, and on your exhale, bring it back up to center. Bend this right knee in, and we are gonna start working through your 100s. Our very first round, our knees are gonna be in our tabletop position to start, so you're glued together. Then you're gonna open up into your Pilates stance position. So I'm gonna kind of angle myself just so everyone can see. So we're starting in our little tabletop position here. Then our heels stay together, our toes rotate open, and that means that our knees have to come to be shoulder distance apart. So that those toes are just a fist distance width apart, knees right in line with your shoulders. We're gonna break our 100 in half to be a 50. So all that means is that I'm just gonna count to 50 instead of 100. So we get to ease ourselves into it. And again, your arms are long and strong throughout this. And for a modified version, your head can be down on your mat. And if you want to make it harder for your core, more advanced, you can take your eyesight to your belly button. But we're all going to start with our head down and our hands up to the sky. We're going to take a big inhale, exhale, arms reach long, eyesight at your belly button if you wish. And you're going to pump those arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding those heels together. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug those knees in. Rest that head down if your eyesight was up. And let's rock from side to side. Massage out through that spine, because we're going to do that one again so we can complete our 100. I just like to break it down in the beginning, and then each week after this, I'll make it just a little bit harder, because each week we'll get better and better at it. So again, start in your tabletop position, open up to your Pilates stance position, fire up from these inner thighs. The knees are in line with your shoulders, and the feet are fist distance width apart. Everyone's starting with their head down, eyesight up at your belly button, or hands up to the sky. Then you're going to take a big inhale, exhale, eyesight up at your belly button if you want, and take a big inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just little tiny pumps with those hands. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug those knees in. Rest that head down. Rock from side to side. Massage out through that spine. Big, deep breaths. Take this at your own pace. Big inhales and exhales. Each time, it's going to get a little bit harder. So we're sticking with our 100s, cutting them in half to ease ourselves into it. But our legs are going to be in a little bit harder of a position. So Pilates is all a progression exercise. So we'll start with the easiest and then work our way up. So this next round, your toes are up to the sky and you're going to open up to your Pilates stance position. So you've got those inner thighs fired up, you're squeezing down into your booty, heels glued, feet a fist distance width apart. And again, if this is a little too hard for you, you can bend those knees slightly, or you can return back to our start position. It is all up to you. You listen to your body knows best. But if you're ready for this challenge, point those toes, glue those heels, toes distance width apart. Start with those hands up to the sky, head rest down. Big inhale, exhale, extend those arms long, and take a big inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug those knees in. Rest that head down if your eyesight was up. side. Massage out through that spine. Nice big stretch and a rest here. Then we have one more round here to complete our set of 100s. Big deep breaths. Last big inhale and exhale. Extend those toes straight up to the sky. Externally rotate in your Pilates stance position. Keep those heels glued. Hands up to the sky, head rested down. Big inhale, exhale, eyes out of your belly button if you wish. And take an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug those knees in. Rest that head down and rock from side to side. Massage out through that spine. Big deep breaths, big inhales and exhales. We just have one more round here of our 2 back-to-back sets of our 50s. Take one last big inhale and exhale to release. Now, since it's a progression exercise, this last one will be our hardest. So if you still want to be in the tabletop position or take those toes straight up to the sky, that's great with me. But if you want to challenge yourself, your legs are going to be out at your 100. The lower they are down, the harder on your core. So you gauge that for yourself. And you're going to be out in your Pilates stance position. We're all going to start in our tabletop position to prepare. So your head is rested down, hands up to the sky. Big inhale, exhale, send it out to your 100 position. Turn out to that Pilates stance. And let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug it in. Rest that head down and rock from side to side. Big inhales and exhales here to give your body a little bit of a rest before we power through our last round here. Last big inhale and exhale. Bring your knees to your tabletop position. We're going to power through our last round here. Hands up to the sky, head rested down. Big inhale, exhale, extend it to your 100. Turn out to your Pilates stance. Glue those heels in. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug it in. Rest that head down if it was up. And rock from side to side. Big deep breaths. Massage out through that spine. Listen to your body here. Melt and release with each exhale. Let's do 2 more breath cycles. Big inhale and exhale. Last one, big inhale and exhale. Those hands are going to wrap around and hug on your hamstrings, and you're going to rock and roll yourself all the way up to a seated position. We are going to do some half roll backs. So not all the way down, but we're going to touch our shoulder blades, which really gets that core fired up. So everyone is going to have bent knees. They are a hip distance width apart. So all that means is that your ankles and your knees and your hips are right in line with one another. Your hands are on your hamstrings. And let's start with our C curve scoop. So all that means is that you picture yourself having a little tiny ball on your belly button, and you're going to take a big exhale, scoop around that spine, take that eyesight to look at your belly button. Let's get a counter stretch here to take that spine arch, take that eyesight up, and then exhale, scoop, C curve. I side to your belly button. And release, counter stretch. I side up to the sky. And let's do 3 more here, just so we can get the feel. Drive that belly button down into your spine. C curve and scoop. Take the outside up in opposition. 2 more, scoop, round that spine. And up for your counter stretch. And last one, scoop. And I side up to the sky. Bring it back down to your nice neutral position, nice long spine, eyesight out in front of you. Our hands are gonna stay on our hamstrings here. All that we're gonna do is we're gonna C-curve it back, so picture that little ball, roll it down. We are just going to extend as far as you can to keep those arms long, tap those little shoulder blades, and then scoop, take it all the way up. So you want your spine to be like a little flexible straw here. So you're scooping down, extend long until those shoulder blades tap, still having hands on those hamstrings. Scoop, ice it into your belly button and bring it up. Nice long spine each time before we restart. Exhale, roll it down, extend those arms long to tap the shoulder blades and scoop. And you can really use those hamstrings to your advantage, but if you want to test that core, try to have the core do all the work and the hands are just on the hamstrings just for a little bit of support. Big inhales, exhales here. Roll it down, scoop, 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 scoop. Tap and lift, nice long spine. We've got 3 more, roll it down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And scoop and use that core to bring you up. Roll those shoulders back and down. 2 more, extend those arms long. And bring yourself all the way up and in. 1 last one here. Scoop, C curve. Roll it down. Tap and lift. Come back up in your nice long spine position here. We're going to challenge ourselves. So we're going to try not to use our hands this time. But if you're like, oh, I definitely need my hands on my hamstrings just for that support, go for it. But if you want to challenge yourself, this time your hands are stacked on top of each other. This is just going to be a little bit harder. We don't have that safety net of our hamstrings. So again, same exact concept. Start with that C curve. Fall into the belly button. Scoop it down. Keep those feet planted down onto the mat. Tap those shoulder blades and lift and scoop up. You want to feel like I duct taped your feet down onto the mat. Because when your feet lift, that's when you know, oh, my core needs a little bit of work here. So scoop and roll it down, tap those shoulder blades, and lift, peel it up. Nice long spine. Start with that C curve, roll it down. And lift. And you want to control here, always feeling like you're going through wet cement. Never fling your body in each direction. We've got 4 more here. Start with that C curve. Roll it down 1 vertebrae at a time, tap and lift. And just by tapping those shoulder blades, we are staying engaged the entire time. So take it at your own pace. 2 more. Keep those shoulders rolled back and down. Last one here. Roll it down. Tap and lift. We have 1 more round here. This is really testing our core. Our arms are going to go straight up to the sky. And even sometimes just holding the arms up to the sky is a challenge in itself. So if you want to stay stacked or stay with those hands on the hamstrings, be my guest. But if you want to challenge yourself, hands up to the sky, start with that C curve, roll it down. Those arms naturally fall. Tap those little shoulder blades and scoop and reach. Use that fingertip energy to lift you back up. And exhale and melt. Breathe through this and always take it at your own pace. I'd rather see 4 great ones as opposed to like 8 to 10 mediocre ones. Again, keep those feet glued down onto the mat. If they start to lift, use that powerhouse more. Use that core more. Big deep breaths. Massage out through that spine and work through that core to lift. We've just got 4 more here. Big exhale, scoop, scoop, scoop. Tap and roll to burn here. Last one all the way down. We're gonna stay down on this last one. Reach those hands above your head. Send your legs nice and long. They're gonna be the width distance of your mat. And we're gonna take big inhales. You can feel that rib cage loosen up and you get your mouse house back. And then release. Keep that rib cage laced. So we can feel the two extremes. Big inhale, open it up, release. And then big exhale, imprint that spine, lace up that rib cage, fire up from your core. And exhale. Keep breathing through this. Last one here, big inhale to release. And exhale, imprint that spine, keep that rib cage laced, keep this core tight here. We are gonna do our roll-ups all the way. Your legs can be the width distance of your mat, and if you need to be modified, your knees can be bent. Having bent knees will take off some of the pressure from your lower back and help counter that, all that muscle you gotta use in your core. So bend your knees, feel free. Reach those hands above your head to start. Big inhale, exhale, take the hands up. As soon as they're through your eyesight, you wanna dive through those hands, peel it up, eyesight starts in your chest, your belly button, your quads, and then forward fold all the way over to get this big reach and stretch and round out through your spine. Then we come right back up to our start position and exhale, melt it down. And reach those hands above your head. Big inhale, exhale, bring the hands within your eyesight, dive through the hands like a little magic circle, and up and over to those toes. And remember, keep those feet glued down onto your mat like I duct taped them. Exhale, roll it down. If your legs are long and your feet are starting to lift up and off the mat when you're doing your roll up, go ahead and bend those knees for me. Big deep stretch here. We're just gonna do 3 more because I know that we just did a lot of our little halvesies. Big deep breaths. Dive through those hands like a little magic circle. 2 more. Make sure those shoulders are rolled back and down. Peel up 1 vertebrae at a time. And this last one, you're gonna hold it down. So scoop it down, work through that core. Feel like you're going through wet cement. Reach those hands above your head. Just for 1 big inhale. And exhale, bring those arms down by your sides. Your knees can be bent here for a modification. Or if you want, your right toe can come up straight up to the sky, left knee bent, or if you want more advanced, you can send that left leg long. And all we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with our little tiny leg circles up to the sky. So throughout the weeks, our circles will get bigger and bigger, but I wanna start out super small so we can get that hip stability that we really need here. So keep that right toe pointed, turn out to your Pilates stance so you can see your heel, arms long and strong, and let's just do circles to the right for 10 and 9, and they're very tiny here. Hold that core tight, be stable in your hips, and just work through this right leg here. You don't want to move that upper body. 4 more. 2. And 1, and reverse in the opposite direction for 10. You're still turned out to your Pilates stance position. You should be able to see your heel. Big deep breaths, keep that core fired up for 4 more. 2, and 1. Hug this right leg into your chest. Big deep breaths, let's circle this ankle in one direction. Big inhales and exhales here. And reverse that direction. You can release this right leg. You can keep it in your little pyramid bent position, or you can send it long if you want to challenge yourself. Because we're going to do the same sequence on the opposite side. So the left toes up to the sky, turned out to your Pilates stance. I want to see that heel. Feel the wrap and the squeeze of your inner thigh down into your glute. Arms long and strong. Work through that powerhouse. There's a lot of things to think about here. And circle for 10. Tiny little circles here. 8 more. Breathe through this. Hold those hips stable. Hold that upper body stable by firing up from that core. 3, 2, 1, and reverse for your 10. You can do it. Power through this. Work through that quad. 4 more. 2, and 1. Hug this left knee into your chest and circle that ankle in one direction. And reverse that direction. Hug your right knee into your chest and hands are on your hamstrings so you can rock and roll yourself up. I am going to have us do just a couple little balancing things here, and then I'll have us breathe and stretch it out. Because eventually, throughout these next 4 weeks, I'm gonna have us roll like a ball, if we can, because if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you don't wanna be rolling back and down on your spine here, so you can just hold it stable. But if you don't, I really want us to graduate into those steps, because that's like a fun one for me. All Pilates is fun for me. But our hands are gonna start on our hamstrings. Legs are glued together like I saran wrapped you. You're kind of on your sits bone, like your tailbone, where you can kind of find your balance. Your spine is not rounded. We want to keep it nice and long. And we're gonna practice our balance. So those hands are on those hamstrings, and all you're gonna do, find your balance and lift those toes off the mat. If you cannot find your balance here, always feel free to put your hands right down by your hips for a little bit of support. And your feet don't have to be raised off the mat that high. It can be like the tiniest little inch. And all we're gonna do, we're gonna find our balance here, roll those shoulders back and down, take a big inhale, and exhale. Big inhale, and exhale. Now when your balance gets really good, you could just sit here forever. Like I would be pleased to sit here for like 5 minutes. But if you wanna work on your balance, find a place in your room that is not moving. If you're in a room with mirrors, don't look at yourself. You gotta find a point that isn't moving. That really helps you find your balance. And again, just doing a big inhale and exhale really helps you find your balance. Let's tap those toes down onto the mat and lift. Tap and lift. We're just gonna do this to test our balance more. We're just at 5, 3, 2, and 1. Tap those toes down, bring it down. Let's face the front of the room, or I'll face you guys, you don't have to move. And we'll be in our little crisscross applesauce position again. And we're just gonna breathe it out, because we're done for this morning, but I'm very looking forward to the next 3 weeks, because each time you'll get a little bit better. So roll those shoulders back and down, big inhales to scoop those hands up to the sky. And exhale to release it down. Big inhale to scoop, grow that spine nice and long, and exhale to melt. We're gonna do 2 more. Big inhale, focus on your breathing here, and release. Last one, reach those hands up to the sky. Prayer position your hands, exhale them down to your heart center. Your eyes can blink closed and your head can tip down. And with one last big inhale, and on your exhale, feel all the stress release out of your body. Open up those eyes, open up your hands, and you guys did it today. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You guys did amazing as always. I love having you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to send Sangeeta or Megan an email, and that way they can forward it to me, and I can answer any and all of your questions that you have. But I loved having you guys this morning, And if you have any questions now, feel free to ask them. But if not, I'll see you guys next week. And next week will be just a little bit harder. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. I hope you have a lovely Saturday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.